And hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. I am your GM today, the Bardic Knock. You can find me on the internet, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube, all as the Bardic Knock. I will be posting whatever it is we are doing here today, and that is... I love how I've said that, and I'm literally going to say what we're going to do. It's Final Fantasy D6. It's, yeah, it's tabletop role-playing games, but Final Fantasy. That is that. I will let the players introduce themselves, and we'll try to give a recap, and then we'll jump on into the action. So, ATB, could you be so kind as to use words to describe what you're doing today, please?
Hi, I am a tired by, playing as Lilith the Dark Knight today, who I vaguely remember her voice. You can find me every second Thursday over on the Undead Case channel for Curse of Strahd. We are currently in Vallaki trying to get things done there. And yeah, you can't really find me anywhere else. I sometimes appear in other people's chats, but that's about it. I think that's it.
Alright, yeah, cool. And with that, we move on to Natch. Natch, would you like to use words, please?
If I must. I'm Natch. I'm playing Malcolm, Red Mage, Resident Fire Daddy, and I think that's all I got for today. I don't think I have anything else.
Okay.
Hi.
And then finally, we have Rain. If you would not like to use words, you may use interpretive dance. I don't know how we'll get it, but I'm sure the feeling will come across.
Yeah, there were too many funny options for me to just pick one for that. So I'll just use words. I am Rain Hayes, and I am playing Reno, who is our Boon Kitty. And I don't think I have any other streams happening right now. Do I? Do I have other streams? No.
I love
No,
how
I do not. Okay.
all of us had to stop and go, do I do stuff? I swear I do stuff. I'm perpetually tired. I must do something. But I can't think of what it is. It'll be fine.
It's more of I need to remember if people invited me to things recently. And it's like, nope.
Yeah. I just don't remember what I'm doing on any given day, so it's fine. Alright, so there's the people and and the characters. So to try and give a recap, it's been a fair few weeks because for some reason it was decided to be a really, really smart idea to get 4 very neurodivergent and depressed people together and hope that all 4 of them are in a functioning mood on a semi-regular basis. That was a very clever idea that we all had to maintain some form of consistency. But regardless, it's cool. We're all human beings. We all know when we need time to do stuff. So we're just gonna do our best to recall. So from what I remember, and by I mean exactly what I asked everybody else what they remembered before we started. We wrapped off last session by having a very long conversation about the nature of sin and the giant space whale, not the concept, but also maybe the concept a little bit. And the conclusion was drawn that Lilith's mother might currently be Sin, which is not fun. There was also some more conversation about a giant weapon that the maces of Yevon are trying to maybe find to like shoot a big gun at Sin. That could be the options. And yeah, just a nice long conversation with Leviathan. It was like, okay, I'll help you out. I'll be your friend. And then Reno is laying down groundwork for when we find her university, which will just appear at some point. Did I miss anything?
Nope.
Not that I
Um,
can think of.
I
Yeah, I
honestly
think
don't remember if I ever made an item.
Yes, because that was the other thing that happened. Essentially, we all got a bunch of new gear, so we're really hoping that we all separately remembered to do that. If not, then we'll find out pretty soon. That is my logic. So yeah, I believe because of how the Fey March works, is it's essentially like time moves faster in the Fey March, so you can be there like a day in the regular world, and it can be months in there. So you've got stronger, you've got more powers, you upgraded yourselves, and you can head. Well, you were. But if memory serves, wasn't Leviathan going to give you a lift back and just like turn into a giant sea serpent and be like, "Yo, let's go"?
I don't remember, honestly. Seems like something Leviathan would do, though.
Because I believe, sadly, your boat is, well, Rump's boat is kind of broken. So you might have to survive without your stolen boat.
Not Parump's boat.
I mean, to be fair, it was
Good
always our
boat.
intent.
I'm going to miss it. That lovely boat. What was its name?
It was legally acquired. As we all know, possession is 9/10 of the law, and we possessed it. So.
Yeah.
All right. So, are there any interactions, any conversations, roleplay, anything like that you would be so inclined to do, either with each other, or on your own, or with NPCs, before we decide to ride Pretty Boy Leviathan back to real, like finger quotes, real world Spira?
Honestly, don't think any of us remember it well enough to be able to roleplay it.
Yeah, like that. I fully expect no one to
accurate.
really remember what's going on. So it's like, all right, if you want to just like ease yourself in, or go, oh yeah, let's have a conversation about something, see what I remember, and yada yada yada. Like, obviously you don't have to. We can just straight away get on the long snake and just move back and push the
Long snake.
plot forward in some way, shape, or form.
I vote for having the long snake push us forward.
Yeah, I honestly don't really. I don't know, my brain's a bit fuzzy, so I can't really think of like any like good sort of roleplay at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's fine. All right. So, fun and interesting, cool thing. Leviathan has a really cool special ability, which basically allows you almost instantaneous travel to any port you have already been to. So, Leviathan can just like go thwomp and take you there. Now, how do you all envision riding Leviathan? Like, do you make like a little building that goes on its back so you can sit comfortably, or you just like bareback ride, or like climb in his mouth, or?
I imagine it like it's it's like a never-ending story.
All right, so
Riding
Complete
Falco.
with the music that's playing. Complete with epic music.
I'm incredibly okay with this. I assume the music is being played out of Macquarie.
Probably.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Alright. So with that. Yeah, cool, let's we get on the long snack, and it's actually a very interesting experience because whilst you are clearly traveling through the ocean, you first of all you can breathe, and second of all it's like, oh, okay, it's like traveling but not traveling because you're not. It's almost like semi-metaphysical, the form of transportation, since you're not just physically moving location, you're like moving from one realm of existence into the other. So it's like you're almost astral, and you travel through into material, so you get the experience of traveling through the material world whilst not being material, if that makes any sense at all. Or am I just saying way too many words to try and sound fancy?
It's relatively immaterial.
So we are material girls, and we may or may not be living in a material world?
Well, you're amaterial girls. You're not material, but then you become material as you push into the material world. Almost if the world shapes us and controls who we are.
Oh.
But also, I'm very happy with the Madonna reference.
Well, I feel like a virgin in this scenario.
Got any more?
Like a prayer? Vogue? I don't know. I can just keep saying words.
That is good enough to me. Okay, so just to make life easier, I'm gonna break the rules ever so slightly because technically Leviathan can only take you to ports you've already been to. So you would be able to go to Besaid, Kilika, or Luca, or I could just like break the rules and be like, all right, but I could just put you on the shore of Jose. Unless you really want to go to Luca and walk down a long ass road for like a session and a half.
I think it's fair to say that one of us has probably been there at some point in our lives.
That is a really good justification to me.
So just skip the walking down the road and just be like, oh yeah, wait, I took a vacation to Jose.
Yeah, I stopped off. I stopped off at Jose one time to refuel my chocobo. That counts. So yeah, Leviathan will swim you. I was gonna say drive, but Leviathan, I don't know. Leviathan moves you, and you arrive on a fairly unimpressive beach. Compared to Kilika and Besaid are both very tropical, very beautiful, very pleasant. Jose, it's much more akin to like a small bay, or kind of like a beach you'd get at the side of a lake, than it is like a full, beautiful, open island beach. And first of all, the first noticeable thing is that the weather is very inhospitable. Well, no, that's a bit dramatic. It's very uninviting weather. It is overcast. There is an almost persistent crackle of static in the air, almost if it is almost always about to start storming at any given moment.
Wonder if I leave Mekikui outside if they'll get overcharged.
Do you want to even try to test that theory?
Only when I have the materials to make a second Mekikui.
That's fair.
Let me just...
Alright. So, you're on this beach. It's fairly, like... Have you ever actually been to a beach on a on a non-beach like day when the weather's a bit crap, and like there's just something in the air. It's like, this just feels.
I live in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, that's just regular beach day.
I've gone clam digging in freezing rain.
Why?
Because it's the only way you can get razor clams.
Can't you just buy them?
Well, you can buy them in small amounts, and they taste slightly less good because they've been frozen.
Oh.
Or you can dig them up yourself and get 2 limits worth, and if you bring more people, get like 6 or 7 limits worth, and freeze them yourself. They'll last you about a year.
Mm,
Yeah. I learned something.
okay.
I am very enthusiastic about my razor clams.
No, yeah.
I mean, you go hunting for them in the freezing rain. I think that's a given.
I go hunting for them in the freezing rain, wearing chest waders, digging with my hands as the surf crashes over me.
You really want them clams?
Well, it's also kind of fun to dig them.
Okay.
Alright. So, Rain and Natch clearly not exactly the type of beach I'm describing here. Yeah, so it's that. Off in one direction, you can see like a very rocky outcrop. Looks incredibly inhospitable. And the other direction, you can see what vaguely resembles a road. It looks like it was started to be, like, crafted. Laid. That's the word you use for a road. You lay a road. That's it. So it looks like it was started to be laid. You know, it's got a few large flagstones on it, and sides of a road. But it very quickly seems to just turn into a regular dirt road, and that seems to be heading off into the distance towards a fairly, I was going to say lush, but lush is not really the appropriate word here. A fairly vibrant looking swamp-like habitat. And that's a fair bit off in the distance, but it's like, okay, so you look one way, rocks, the other way, swamps.
I vote for swamp just because that sounds like fun.
Why did we come here again? What are we looking for?
Raiko will try and go, we're trying to find the temple of Jose. It's supposed to be quite noticeable. I believe it's towards the swamps, like the moon flow is quite close to the temple. Yeah.
So.
Alright, well, swamps it is then.
So swamp.
Alright, yeah, let's go. I think we were all supposed to be asking questions or finding out information about some kind of terrifying super weapon. I think that was the other thing we're meant to be doing.
So, go to swamp for temple, go to unfinished road for questions?
Find super weapon?
I mean, I assume there's a town here somewhere, right?
From what I recall, not really. The temple here at Jose is like it's just kind of here. Like, I'm still very confused why we can't see it. According to like what I remember being told, is there's basically nothing at Jose. You just kind of walk along the Mihen High Road, go through the Mushroom Rock, and then there's just like the temple, and then you continue on to the Moonflow. So there's supposed to be like a temple, but all I see is that one large rock structure over there, but that doesn't seem appropriate.
Well, it's the only lead we got. Why don't we check out the big, large rock structure?
Do we head towards the large rock structure?
Sure.
Yeah, cool. As you begin to walk towards the large rock structure, the road which had started to be built seems to pass by where this is, and as you approach it, the large rock structure essentially explodes, and all around the upper limit of it, it explodes outwards, and instead of the rocks flying out and crushing the tiny people, they just kind of float there, held together by some strange electromagnetic force. They begin to rotate around this very large, technological-looking building. It's essentially like a Tesla coil, but with like rocks floating around it.
That's not something you see every day.
Either that is the temple or that is the super weapon.
It could be both. Let's not limit ourselves.
That's fair.
Raiko just kind of said, well, if it was the super weapon, it might be super convenient. That like kind of stops us having to look anymore, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. We go and find out what's going on here.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Just be careful.
All right. Yeah. So you can head towards the large electric building, or electric rock. I don't know what you want to call it. But as you approach, you notice two smaller, like rock-type structures that seem to have doorways carved into them, and the one that exploded also has a very large doorway carved into it. So, sorry, I'm just chuckling at Natch making music jokes.
Don't mind me. It's not actually funny.
I thought it was funny, so that probably says more about my sense of humor. When I was talking about electric rock, Natch typed in the chat, typically it's called industrial, and I personally found that hilarious. Amusing to me. I'm easily amused, and I'm not ashamed of that. Maybe a little ashamed, but not enough to do anything about it.
That's
I'm
why this
ashamed of
works
that.
out between
A
us.
little worried.
All right. So you got the large building that did a zap explosion, and you got the two smaller looking buildings. And for the most part, this place seems almost deserted. Every other temple you've been to seems to have, some kind of infrastructure built around it. This one seems so out of the way and almost entirely just abandoned as such. At least from the outside looking in. You will also notice there's lots of small monkeys that just kind of hang around here. They just kind of like hang out, like sitting on like the floor or near the rocks. They're just having a real chill time.
Just the monkeys.
Yeah, just some little monkeys just having a chill time.
Just monkeys.
And when I say they're small, I'm gonna have to try and find an image, because the monkeys in Final Fantasy X are very small. I'm gonna do a Google.
Final Fantasy X monkey.
You know?
Okay, so I'm putting way too much effort into finding this image. Tiny little monkeys.
I found this image. That is just like it with its pixels showing.
Yeah, so like there it is in like just tiny little things. Well, they're kind of like the size of rabbits, but with big tails.
Hmm.
So they're just like hanging out. Some will be sat on the rocks. Even the rocks felt like orbiting around the large Tesla coil-like structure. They'll just be like monkeys sat on them, just chilling, having a real nice time.
Um,
How are they
Hi,
not being
monkeys.
electrocuted?
How are they not getting electrocuted? Good question. I don't know.
Is it suspicion?
It seems that they just are unfazed by it. Either they're used to it, or they are unaffected by it, or maybe it's not actually that dangerous. Maybe it just looks dangerous.
Hmm.
You can tell we're all highly trusting individuals.
Mm.
Well, I'll lead the way. Let's go forward.
All right, heading into the large building or one of the two smaller buildings.
I came here to be a meat shield, not to make decisions. What do you think, Rekko? You're the temple expert.
Well, you know, I'm gonna use my big brain thinking powers and assume that the big one is probably where the stuff is, and the small ones are probably where the stuff is not.
Okay, well, I'm going to ignore the fact that seemed like a read, and I'm going to move towards the large building.
Yeah, so you head towards the large building, and the doors, strangely enough, every other temple you've been to, the doors are either already open, or like the underwater when you had to force them open. They seem to get charged with electricity as you approach, and slowly slide open to the sides, allowing you to walk inside. On the inside, in a very severe contrast to the very muted earthen aesthetic of everything outside. Everything's very like grey and brown and dark and very mid 2000s AAA video game and movie. You know, just like a palette of browns and greys. On the inside, the temple foyer is a very lustrous blue cobalt in color and tone, with a very intricate pattern on the floor that seems to be depicting a very elderly looking man seeming to interact, seeming to be like feeding or caring for farm animals of some description. That looks very much like a shepherd, like caring for herd animals. It's a very intricate, like mosaic. Like all the other temples, there's a collection of small statues that seem to be resembling lesser summoners, and then there's larger statues that seem to be signifying, you know, the high summoners, the important ones. And everything in here is very well kept. One would assume from the almost abandoned aesthetic from the outside that this place should be covered in dust or damaged or something, but it's very, very clean here.
Either some people come here from time to time, or possibly maybe the monkeys were taking care of this place. I mean, I saw that sort of thing in the Fate March, and now I feel like it would be not entirely impossible.
Yeah, I was going to say the monkeys were like cursed children or something taking care of the temple, but yeah, no, that makes more sense.
I mean, cursed children's also a possibility, considering what we learned.
This is true. Let's keep it on the table. No ideas are bad ideas.
I'm kind of worried that we skipped over it could have caretakers in favor of the monkeys did it.
I mean,
in our
defense, in our defense, we've seen the monkeys and we've not seen caretakers.
And also in the Fame March. How much have we seen in the... How long were we in there?
You were there probably the span of, 3-4 months, but in real time, a couple days.
Like 3-4 months. At least time's weird.
Like the other temples you have been to, there seems to be a stairway leading up to what one could assume is the main cloister of trials, and 2 smaller rooms off to the sides. You assume that is where pray or rest or recover or where less important things occur. As of yet, there is still no people with which to interact.
He was just gonna start shouting, "Hello!"
So you're just gonna start shouting hello. Just like screaming out to see if anyone's here.
Yeah, pretty much. Rito doesn't. I'm not a subtle creature.
Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna point out I hate myself so much for this, but it's so funny. It amuses me. From out of one of the smaller side doors, a person walks out. They appear to be fairly young, as in there's no visible signs of aging in any way, shape, or form upon them. They're quite tall, easily about 6 to like 6'4" to 6'7" ish, like very tall, very lithe, slender. They appear to have pointed ears. Their hands are quite large, and their fingers seem to extend outwards in almost like a claw-like fashion. And they look very timid. In many ways, it almost looks as if they don't really belong here, or they themselves are not entirely comfortable being here. They seem very shaken at both their surroundings and the fact that another person is here. They kind of just step out and go, oh, hello? Is someone there?
Oh my god, it actually worked.
Fine.
Did they just say hello?
Yeah, I'm not convinced it's not a cursed child. I think we may have all been right here.
No, not cursed. I'm just. Have you never seen a grotto before? It's just how I look. You think I'm cursed? That hurts my feelings.
Look at Ryko. Do we shoot it?
How long have you been, or how do you, I don't know how to deal with, I don't know what to do. What's the right thing to say?
I don't know. Do I look like I'm good with kids?
Are you
I
the
don't know.
caretaker here?
Technically, no. But also, yeah. Because no one else is here. Just me.
How long have you been here?
A really, really long time. Just like they get their hands out and they kind of count and go, 30 years.
30?
Yeah.
Were there other people here 30 years ago?
No.
Were you brought here? How did you get here?
I was lost and scared, and this place looked safe, so I came here. You know, usually I stay hidden, but you know, every now and then people come through and they just kind of, you know, they walk through that door up there, and then they come back out later. I normally just stay out of the way, but you know, you said hello, and like you were working for someone, so I thought maybe you were working for me. I don't know why. It just felt like maybe you were.
Did we ask if it has a name yet? Do you have a name?
Yes. Do you have a name?
Probably, but I don't know it.
Well, it's good to meet you, probably.
Is I don't know it a family name?
Maybe. I don't really know.
Reiko, what do we do? Do lost people usually come into temples and just hide?
No.
Oh.
I mean, lots of people will go to temples and, you know, seek some sort of refuge or something. But I don't think that was an active choice here. I think they just kind of found this place and decided, hey, I live here now. So don't ask me what to do. I am just as confused and off-put by all of this as well.
Yeah, fair.
Do we just ignore it and walk past? Like, just pretend that they're not here?
Well, hold on.
I don't think...
I think it's time for me to have a big brain moment. So the images on the walls are of someone tending to like flocks and like things, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm assuming, and this may be a big assumption, but I'm thinking that may have something to do with the faith here. And so it's probably pretty unhappy that no one has been taking care of things here. And so if this one being has been taking care of things, the faith probably is... This thing has probably garnered the faith's blessing in some way.
Or we're supposed to shepherd it.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. Yeah.
Lilith just looks back over to Deguado. Have you ever tried going up to the stairs that you say that people have been going up and then coming back after a while?
Okay, so I can't believe we're actually... I'm going to use this. Pwobabwee, as we have dubbed this person, lifts their hands up and puts them like on their cheeks and blushes and goes, "No, I'd never go up there. One is spooky and scary, but also when I first got here, I was politely asked by some of the little ones to not go up there because it's not my place to go there."
Little ones?
Little ones?
Did you not see them? They're normally everywhere. You know, they like to sit outside. They like the walks. They, you know, and then probably will kind of crouch down, lift their hands up and put them. Oopsie. My mic. pop them behind their head and kind of curl them over to resemble ears, and Pwobabwee kind of crouches like one of the small monkeys. They look like this.
Oh. Oh, you mean the monkeys.
Oh, is that what they're called? I just call them little ones.
I mean,
And
maybe
they-
that's also what they're called. Who knows?
And they told you that it's not for you?
Yeah, they tell us. Well, they didn't tell me. I'm not like delusional. I don't like talk to animals. They just like they just let me know it's not my place to go though. They just like, yeah.
They just said, I'm not delusional, I don't talk to animals, to the cat-eared person that can speak monster.
Hmm. Also, I have to ask, how have you been? Is there like a surplus of food here, or how do you eat and stuff?
I I go fishing.
Oh.
There's the ocean, the water, and I got some vegetables like well around the back.
Hmm. Okay.
The little ones also told me how to make bread.
Huh.
How did they know how to make bread?
I don't know. They learned by watching someone, maybe.
I mean, I've heard of stories of monkeys learning sign language, so you know, sign language, making bread. Similar.
Is Val and Hans with us?
They would have come with you, yes. Whether or not they came inside, do you want them to be inside, or do you want them to have stayed outside, being confused by everything?
I mean, I kind of assumed they would have come inside because I'm pretty sure Val hasn't been
Val
here yet.
would've-
She still needs to do the
yeah.
trial.
Yeah, Val has not been here, so 100% you can, they can be there. I think Val is just perpetually rubbing her temples at the aggravating situation with this, and Hans is just a happy guy. He's just smiling, like, yep, this is nice.
I do offer Val a Tylenol and then take one myself.
Yeah, 100%. I will take it without a word. I'm not dealing with this.
It's actually literally your and Raiko's problem.
Did anybody else hear the W? Did Val just say problem?
Oh my! If she did, that was entirely my accent. But I think that's hilarious.
It's spreading.
Yeah, Val goes, "Look, I'm not dealing with this. It's not my problem." Problem. You didn't hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Do you want to come with us?
Though, they can't follow into the big room, though.
Well, they couldn't go in because it wasn't for them, but it's for us.
Well,
Yeah.
I suppose I could. Is this safe? Is anything bad going to happen?
Probably. Yeah, it usually does.
Okay.
That's why we carry weapons.
Oh. I got one of those. Real scary. It works really good when anytime I go fishing. and the nasty want to see it?
I'm imagining a pocket knife.
Sure.
Pwobabwee reaches into their back pocket and pulls out 2 silver bells.
Silver bells.
And just clangs them. Yes. They work really good.
Great.
I mean, Noctu is able to damage things by just looking at them from what we've seen, so you know.
Noctu, holding his gun, polishes it, and just tucks it away.
Noctu has just been riding on Lilith's shoulder the entire time, and for a brief moment, Pwobabwee sees the gun.
Yeah, Pwobabwee's like, I think the little one had a firearm.
Nah.
But the monkeys?
No. That would be... I think that would be a bad idea if we gave the monkeys firearms.
Okay, I have a great many questions, but first of, top of the list is, how did you not know the word monkey but know the word firearms?
I tend to learn from when people come in here, and people haven't really said the word monkey before, but surprisingly, lots of people come in here and talk about firearms.
That seems like a problem with Spire's current firearm climate.
Yeah, we need more background checks.
We just
Reno is
need
going
to
to
get Parumped out of office.
Reno is just gonna stare at the other two holding her giant gunblade.
Not you, Reno. You're a treasure.
Raiko looks at me and goes, maybe you, Reno. You're dangerous. But, you know, you're helping at the moment, so it's probably fine.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, Noctu having a firearm, wouldn't imagine it. I mean, look at him. Where would he even put a firearm? And Love just holds up Noctu for everybody.
I don't think they have pockets, do they?
I don't think so. I don't think the little ones carry pockets.
Yeah, so why would he have a firearm? Clearly he knows some sort of, weird magic inside of his little hedgehog brain. Couldn't be a firearm.
Really? Okay.
That's like saying Tauntaun just autonomously goes after people with their knife.
Tauntaun is currently just slowly walking around the room, following one monkey with a knife, just doing little stabby motions.
Yeah, that's
I
just
feel
the
like our
most
group
absurd
has
thing I've
very
ever heard.
specific blind spots.
The blind spots exist purely for comedic moments.
Mm-hmm. In the epilogue, we'll learn that Noctu had a gun the whole time. It's fine.
Okay. So, with that, I believe... You know what, I think Val at this point, just frustrated at everything, would be like, alright, I'm gonna go do the trial. Tag along, don't. I am so tired.
We just had a vacation.
Well, apparently not a good enough one. So let's just go. I'm done.
Wow,
if you
okay,
can't
last
have
time
a-
I gave you Tylenol.
I mean, it takes a while for Tylenol to kick in, right?
I feel like if vacationing in the gullet of a giant extra-dimensional serpent isn't ideal, then You're not going to have a good vacation.
Val is just going to shake her head because she is like 112% done with this nonsense. Just like,
really, Val, I think you're choosing to have a bad time right now.
yeah, I 100% am. I am having like an objectively bad time because I do not wish to be here in this conversation any longer. I will be having a good time once we are done.
No, I think you're having subjectively a bad time because you're choosing to have it.
I know. It's subjective.
All right, well, you can try and pass the trial without us, but as we've proven, we're much better at it than you. So, do what you want.
Val is gonna huff and very quietly acknowledge that, yeah, you're right. So I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna have my bad time quietly, and hopefully this will all pass.
Reno doesn't say it out loud, but Reno is thinking very loudly in their head. I mean, the rest of us have actually hit something when we attacked.
Wow.
Damn.
Mean.
Mean.
All right. So, I assume you would like to head up into the Cloister of Trials with your new friend Pwobabwee. I can't believe that's this person's name.
Also, let's not jump to conclusions by using the word friend.
You handed that to me on a silver platter.
New NPC. Pwobabwee. The Lost. No way, it's Pwobabwee. I don't know it. I don't know it.
At some point, Pwobabwee is going to have to meet Mechaqui.
Oh god. Okay. So you head up the stairs, you approach the Cloister of Trials, and this door is brimming with static electricity. Like, so much so that there is an almost persistent electrical current that you can visibly see crackling on the outside of the door. Who would wish to try and open the door?
That's a trap.
It's probably Malcolm.
Yeah. All right.
Good luck.
Malcolm, you touch the door. It hurts. Like, it is a big zappy. So if you could be so kind as to take yeah, can you take 20 damage? You can push the door open.
Is that mitigated by M-arm?
Yes.
Okay, then I take no damage.
Wow. Yeah, I think you will always take 1 damage. But yeah, so you take
fine.
1 damage. Which I think is really freaking badass. It's like clearly being electrocuted. Going, I'm good.
I mean, I am a mage.
So the doors open, and you find a very short corridor. In fact, it's not really a corridor. It's more like just a small rectangle of a room with a pedestal embedded onto either side of the room. And these 2 pedestals seem to have spheres in them that are brimming it and crackling with the electricity. And then there is a small circular pad slightly further in that you would recognize these as being like these weird magical elevator things that exist. Yeah, so you can see that.
I'm just here to put myself in harm's way. I'm not really a puzzles guy.
Puzzles are for nerds.
And I am not a nerd.
Can you repeat it again, Bardic? Sorry.
Alright, so there is a very short corridor with essentially nothing to acknowledge in there, with the exception of a pedestal embedded into either wall. Each one of these pedestals has a sphere on them. These spheres seem to be crackling with electricity. And then at the end of this is a small circular pad that you would recognize as being very similar to the magical elevators you have seen and used before.
We try to use that elevator, are all of those things going to shock us?
Good question.
I'm thinking either we're gonna get shocked or it's gonna be a thing of we need to move them somewhere to power the elevator. Maybe.
Well, first thing, I guess I'll just stand on the central thing.
So just walk up to the elevator.
Mhm.
Yeah, you stand on the elevator and nothing happens.
Okay, so we know that that's not the problem.
Is there anywhere near the elevator where there would be places to put things in?
I'm immediately looking around. There does not appear to be anything of much notice. One thing that is fairly obvious is the elevator itself seems to have a groove for a sphere.
Okay.
So we need to find a sphere.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking this is a thing of one of the electric spears goes into it, but I don't know.
I mean, those are the only two spheres you've currently seen, so it probably would not hurt to try.
No, it probably will hurt to try, but that's probably the right thing to do.
Okay, I will go grab a sphere and I will put it in the elevator hole.
Yeah. Malcolm, you go grab a sphere. The sphere from the left-hand wall or the right-hand wall?
Let's do left.
Okay, yeah. So you pull that sphere out. You then notice, as you do so, a cobalt blue line seems to travel from the grid where the node, and it seems to go along the corridor and then into the ceiling, and basically right above where the elevator was. Now that seems to be opening a small entranceway. But it does not seem large enough to get through yet.
Okay, well that's a surprise tool that will help us later.
Yeah.
I think Lilith will go and after seeing that, we'll go and try to pick up the remaining spear, maybe?
Yeah, you pick up the sphere, and the same thing happens again. Cobalt blue line goes along the ceiling, and it pushes the opening a little bit wider. Now it looks as if it is big enough for the elevator to fit through.
There's only one place to put... Wait, let me see if...
Yeah, so there's one place to put a sphere, and that is in the pad of the elevator itself.
So we take both spheres, put one in the pad, and the other one we keep for future use.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
Yeah.
All right, children, gather around.
All right, so you go and you pop it on you pop the sphere in the pad, and the pad like begins to lift up off the floor, and as you stand on it, it lifts you up to the next floor. Before we progress, are we all right to take a quick 5-minute break? Because my entire microphone stand seems to have fallen off the thing that was holding it in place. So I am having to manually hold my microphone arm.
Yeah, I'm good for a break.
I just noticed that I wasn't watching the stream.
Yeah, I just realized like, oh, that's falling off. Let me just hold that. So
Let me just hold that and act like a radio announcer.
Yeah.
Sports game.
Yeah, so if we can take like a quick 5-minute break here, it's a pretty good place to do that anyway, and we'll be back real soon. Okay, well that's not fun. My camera is not working, so I'm gonna do this and do that.
Oh no.
There we go. Okay, so what had happened there? I had to unplug my microphone while I was fixing it. And that apparently on Streamlabs decided to mean that my camera is no longer being recognized as being plugged in. But deactivate, activate, everything is back up and working. We're right on back. So where we left off, we made an elevator work, and I assume that we all got on the elevator, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wonderful. The elevator will lift the group up onto the next floor, which is relatively similar to the floor you were just on. The room you're in is a circular room, not particularly large. Then there is a long, thin hallway that leads to another circular room. This one's slightly larger. And looking down into the room at the end, you can make out a there appears to be a pedestal that is producing a lot of electricity from it. Other things in that room, you have to go inside to investigate it.
Would it be somehow safe to, or would there be a safe way to go in there without getting potentially shocked?
Maybe.
Make an inquiry check to try and figure out if that's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Oh no, I guess that's up to Bardic.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want to do.
I'm gonna try inquiry. No, don't put the dice into freaking Twitch. Put the dice into the actual game.
Okay, so a 12. Let me find the thing so I know how good a 12 is. Where is my page? There's somewhere. See it there. The a 12, I believe, is challenging. Yeah. Okay. So your inquiry, you wish to inquire. What is it specifically that you are trying to inquire about? You know, how safe is it to walk down into that room? Does the electricity look zappy? What specifically are you trying to inquire?
Is the safest way to navigate the room.
Okay, the safest way to navigate the room. So from your perspective in this, like, you can see that the pedestal in the middle is emitting a decent amount of electricity, with a vague understanding of how electrical currents work. It would kind of need something to absorb the electricity, something to act as a lightning rod of sorts.
The thing that is the pedestal empty?
From where you are standing, it would appear so.
We have that other orb.
Well, let's put it in.
Now here's the tricky part. I'm pretty sure we have to walk in to put it in.
I'll go.
I mean, we can try to huck it, but if we do, we're going to lose it.
I'll walk. It's fine.
Alright, Malcolm, you walk into the electrical discharge room?
Yeah.
Alright, can you please take me 27 damage?
Okay, I take 2 damage.
Jesus Christ, Malcolm. So, Zap, you go, okay. And you go and you pop the little spirit. Upon doing this, the electricity becomes channeled and focused, and now there is a single stream of electricity, like straight up from the pedestal. You now can get a safer, clearer look in the room you are in. You see in this circular room there are a few different places to interact with. There's built into walls a few pedestals, and there's a few statues. There one pedestal which is directly in front of you, so clock face at 12 o'clock, seems to have a purple sphere in it. The one that is at round about 3, the one that is at 9, they do not appear to have any spheres inside of them.
My brain is... Sorry.
No, I was just going to say it'd probably help if I unmuted when I talked.
Oh.
Yeah, unmuting tends to help.
So we have pedestals, statues, and one sphere.
Correct.
What do the statues look like?
They're kind of vaguely, vaguely generic looking. They kind of vaguely look like Yevon soldiers or Yevon priests. They aren't super specific, but essentially, if we're going as the clock, so the entranceway is at 6 o'clock. The pedestals are at 12, 3, and 9. And then there is a statue, there's 2 statues in between each of the things. So at 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11, there are statues.
The pedestals look like they can move?
If you went and grabbed one and wiggled it around, you'd probably be able to move them, yeah.
Just for experimental sake, I'm going to take down the potential sphere of annihilation and put it in another pedestal.
Which one?
Where were they? There's one at 3 o'clock?
Yeah, there's 12, 3, and 9.
Okay, I'll put it at 3.
Yep, so when you take the pedestal of annihilation out, the little purple glowy glyph disappears. You go and put it in the other pedestal, it glows and lights up there instead.
And there's nothing else in the room lighting up?
Nope.
Try putting it in the 12 o'clock.
The 12 o'clock is the one it came out of.
Oh. I'll try putting it in the 9 o'clock.
Yep. You put it in the 9 o'clock. Same thing. The glyph that was on the 3, that disappears. I put it at 9, it lights up. Just a little glyph. Like Annihilation going, ooh. Purple sphere is here.
Is it possible to take out the other spheres that were in the elevator, like, without it just going down again?
You can. You can most definitely pull the sphere out of the elevator.
Okay, so how many statues are there again?
2, 4, 6, 8.
Does the Tesla pillar move?
Potentially, but with the electricity that is coming out of it, if you were to move it, you would probably start making electricity fly around the room. So you could do it, but it might hurt a lot.
Sorry, brain fuzzy. Can you say that one more time, please?
Which part?
The
Yes.
thing you just said about it hurting a lot.
Yeah, so the pedestal in the center, obviously that essentially has a pillar of lightning shooting out of it into the ceiling. You potentially could move that pedestal around, but if you did so, you'd be moving this like pillar of lightning, which is probably not the safest thing in the world to do.
Do we know that pushing the pillar would move the lightning?
The lightning seems to be emanating from the pedestal itself, so moving it, you would move the pillar with it, but it would probably hurt a lot to handle and move the pedestal whilst it is emanating all this electricity.
Okay. And is there a groove in that particular pedestal?
The central one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you put the lightning sphere.
You put the first sphere in there.
Oh, and it went.
Yeah, that's when it
explode.
directed it upwards. Before that, it was just flying. Like electricity was just flying around the room.
Okay.
Can I
Is there
go
something on
look?
the ceiling?
Looking up.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Now all three of us sat here waiting to let the other person speak
What's
first.
up on the ceiling?
On the ceiling, the ceiling there really just looks to be like a very large blue, like I don't want to say sphere because it's not like one of the spheres, but it's like a sphere of electricity, not the ones you grab and move, like a big one that is firing electricity out all over the room, and it has been channeled down towards the one you've put into the pedestal.
Okay. So it's not that the lightning is coming out of the pedestal, it's that it's like attracting the lightning in the room towards itself.
Yes. There we go. That's better phrasing.
Okay.
I go look at the area around 6 o'clock to see if there's anything jumps out at me.
Yeah, 6 o'clock is where the hallway is that lets you walk into this room.
Okay.
So if you head towards 6, that takes you to the elevator room.
Fucker. Well, can I go? I'll go back to the elevator room and grab the sphere out of the elevator.
Yeah, you can do that. As you do so, the elevator plants itself on the floor and seems to lock into position, so it doesn't drop down to where it came from. It sits itself neatly in the floor groove here.
Yeah, I'll take it back into the room and put it at 3 o'clock.
When you plant it in there, what happens is the lightning that's coming from the ceiling down into the middle. You now have created a beam of lightning that it forms an L shape in the air. So it goes down from the ceiling to the pedestal, and then from a pedestal out into 3 o'clock. As you have done that, the two statues, well, the four statues either side of it, so the statues that are at 1, 2, 4, and 6, they seem to like light up and animate ever so slightly. And their arms kind of move in position. So their arms all form at different heights. So the ones at 1 are quite low, 2 is a little bit higher, and 3 is a little bit higher, and 4 is a little bit higher still.
Platforms?
Not like platforms. They're not big statues. They're statues about the same size as you. They're just their arms elevate to show, like, yes, this is the order that they're supposed to go in.
So they're showing me the order that they're supposed to go in.
Yes.
And are they in order? Are they smallest to tallest or whatever?
These ones all appear to be correctly in order from arm at the lowest point to arm at the highest point of these 4.
Okay.
So you don't need to
Then I'll take
move any of these around.
I'll take the sphere over to 9 o'clock.
The spear from 3.
Yes.
Yep. When you remove the sphere, their arms all return to normal. They are no longer animated, but you can walk on over, put the sphere into 9 o'clock. Same thing, and they seem to continue the correct way around. So from 7 through to 11, they continue all the way until the arm is like fully reached up.
Okay. Then I will take that out and take it to 12 o'clock to look at the statues.
Okay, so when you put it in 12 o'clock, this shows statues 10, 11, 1, and 2. Their arms kind of go. So they start at 10, up higher 11, and then right at the very bottom for 1 and 2. Basically, you can, whenever you go and put it in one of these pillars, 4 of the statues light up.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time following the...
I think that we have to light up all the statues.
So...
Each time I put one of the lightning spheres into a pedestal, it lights up 4 of the statues.
Hmm.
And I think we have to light up all of them, which means that... well, I don't know how we can get the sphere from downstairs.
But there were 2
I
spheres.
wonder.
You brought 2 spheres up. You have 1 in the central pillar, and you're moving 1 around.
Yes, but there are 3... Oh, but we have the purple sphere too.
I have an idea. I don't know if it's actually going to work, but hey, it's worth a shot, I guess.
Yeah.
Where's the non-orbed slot that we need to put orb?
Okay. Sorry. Puzzles are hard to explain. Where exactly you? So you're asking where you haven't got a sphere currently?
Yeah. So Reno took the sphere out of the one and put it in the other. I'm asking where I go over to the one that Reno just took the sphere out of.
Yeah. So Reno went and tried the sphere in 3, 9, then 12. Obviously, the destruction sphere is somewhere. I assume you just pop that in your pocket and you're going to worry about it later.
Well, yeah, my next idea was to use that.
Yeah. So, at the moment, the sphere is in 12. 3 and 9 do not have a sphere currently.
Okay. Do we need spheres in both 3 and 9 to make them all lit up?
When you put one into half of a statue's lit up. When you put one into 9, the other half all lit up.
So, both?
I think if we take the one off the central pillar and put it into 9, that it'll arc towards those 2 pedestals instead of the center.
Maybe.
And light 'em up.
Maybe. Can I try something first?
Yes.
Okay, so right now there's a sphere in 3 or 9, correct?
There was a sphere in 12. If you've taken that one out, the other lightning sphere is in the central pillar.
Okay, let's put a sphere in 3 or 9.
Which one are you? The one that you've got in your hand, or the one from the central pillar?
The one that we've got in our hands.
Yep, that's absolutely fine. You pop that in 3. The L-shaped forms in the sky and lights up.
Well, this is probably not... Okay, so half of them lit up.
Yes.
Okay, well, this is probably not going to work at all, but I'm going to try it. So I'm going to, take one fist, and I'm going to stick it in the slot where a sphere would usually go.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm going to use Runic to try and charge some of the lightning through my body into the pillar.
Which one? I assume,
Here in it.
at 9
That has my
o'clock,
fist
right?
in it.
Yeah, so at 9?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So you're gonna pump some lightning in?
Yeah.
You can pump some lightning in, and it works. How long can you maintain Runic, out of curiosity?
It's an instantaneous thing.
Yeah, and there's not a limitation to it.
Once per combat.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So you can pump that, and it works. That produces electricity. And you see that the statues they all light up, and then where the pedestal is at 12 o'clock, that sinks into the ground, and a doorway appears. Since we're not in combat, Final Fantasy V6 has very ambiguous rulings on how spells work outside of combat. It's essentially rule of cool it. So essentially, if you maintain that works. The moment you stop holding it, it loses the charge, and the pedestal will return, and the doorway will be sealed up.
I have a feeling it probably does it for a second and then goes back, since the way Runic works is it absorbs a spell and then it's over.
Yeah.
I think that we should take that central one and put it in 9 o'clock. Because I think so long as we have the pillar and so long as we have the orb in 3 o'clock, the lightning will arc to that, even if we take the central one out.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. That tracks.
That could work.
Okay.
I figure if it starts going wild, we just stick it back in.
True.
It's not logic.
So yeah, Reno's going to take the central one out.
Yeah, you do that, and Reno, your hypo was correct. So long as there is a sphere in this room, the lightning is drawn to it. So it's drawn entirely to 3. You're all safe, and you go over, you pop it in at 9, and the lightning then comes down, it splits down the middle, forms a division in the room. All 8 of the statues have their arms raised, and the lightning then stops. As all the statues are lit up at the same time, and the pedestal at 12 sinks into the ground, and you see a doorway that opens up.
I
We got
honestly
way more complicated than we needed to.
I honestly feel very dumb for not understanding anything that just happened.
Basically, we had to get all the statues to light up, and they would light up half of them at either of the pedestals.
Okay.
So we're basically using the lightning orbs to charge them up.
So the easy comparison to this is very much the same principle as, you know, the whole, okay, you have a boat and you need to get the grain, the chicken, and the fox across the water. It's very much why you need to move one at a time to keep it safe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This is why I enjoy puzzles. You can make them very simple and watch how people will overthink and try to figure out how exactly they can make it work.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's move on to the next puzzle.
Mm.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you head into the next room. This is, yeah. Well, so through a doorway, it leads to a set of stairs. You go up the stairs. In this final room, it's a big circle. The person who made this likes big circles because they're simple and easy to navigate. Very similar to where you just were, except that there are the stairway leads you up and you come up, you know, vaguely in the center of it. This time you see 4 pedestals in a square in the middle of the room, like not like close together but spread out evenly, and 4 of the 4 statues are, and the other 4 are not currently in place. They are next to the pedestals. As for the spheres currently in the room, they're each there is 1 sphere in the northwest pedestal. It seems to be emanating a small amount of electricity, not loads.
Okay, so it's basically identical in that there are 8 statues.
Yep, 8 statues. 4 are in place, 4 are not. And the pedestals are in the center of the room. In like northwest, northeast, southeast, southwest places of the compass. Clocks and compasses are not the same.
I will move one of the statues, let's say the one immediately to my left.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just push it into the closest, like push it next to the closest statue on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And then do the pedestals move?
These pedestals do not seem to move, no.
Okay, then I'll take the lightning sphere and put it in the pedestal that's directly across from those 2.
Yeah, you pop it in, it shoots out a small beam of lightning, and these arms, so the one that was in place, that arm is at whatever height, and then the statue next to it, that arm is much, much lower. It is clearly not meant to go there sequentially.
Okay.
So I'm basically going to take that statue out and move it down the line to the next slot counterclockwise, and then pick a new statue and bring it to that slot.
Yep. You move the next statue over. You pop it in, and this arm it seems to raise to the exact same position, the exact same height.
Okay, then I'll take it to the slot across from that one.
Yeah, as you slot it in directly across from the fingertips of the statue, a stream of electricity seems to spark across the room, connecting 4 statues.
So I'm basically going to follow that procedure and put the statues in
Yeah.
according to their height.
So you put the other 2 in their places. However, there is no electricity sparking between the other 2, because you've only got the 1 sphere currently. But because the sphere is only powering the first 4 statues you got sorted out.
only have that one sphere available because if we go down and grab any of the others, doors close.
Yeah. Is there, like, anywhere that looks like there might be, like, spears hidden, or...
Not that you can particularly make out, no.
I'm wondering if that iris that we opened to get the elevator moving up, if that would close if we took the other orb out.
You mean way down on the first floor?
Yes.
So you took both spheres out there, and that is what opened the entranceway.
Oh, that's right. We took them out. We didn't put them in.
Mm.
Well, we can't go back and get the other ones because the door will close. We have a destruction sphere and we have one lightning sphere.
I mean, we could try putting the destruction sphere in the other... to where the other 4...
Out of curiosity, if I take the lightning sphere out of the one it's currently in, does the lightning stop on those statues?
The statues are no longer lit up, but the arc of lightning that goes between them, that seems to maintain itself. At the very least, about 10 seconds.
Okay, so the first procedure, I basically put statues where they needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
This time I'm just going to run around the room putting the orb in the pedestals.
Yeah, so just very, very quickly, orb in, run to the next one, orb in, run to the next one, and you do that 4 times. And yeah, with that, 4 arcs of lightning go between the 4 pairs of statues and create a crossing pattern above you all, and then a circular current around. And with that, a lightning bolt strikes the center, of the room, and after that happens, a beam of light, a lightning streak goes across the floor and cracks a hole in the wall and reveals a very large ornate door, which would appear to be how you find the room of the faith.
Guys, I found it.
Lilith just
Nice.
claps, like very sincerely claps. So, Guardians first or Summoners first?
Raiko, I think this is your deal now.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Raiko will head on in and go and we'll just open the door and go into the room of the faith. Is anyone going with them, or letting Raiko crack one on it?
Go with.
Lilith is also going with.
Yeah, and I think I definitely want to bring... I can't believe I'm going to have to say this. Pwobabwee.
Yes! Probably best character. 100%. So yeah, you bring Pwobabwee with you. You go into the room of the faith. Pwobabwee has been very throughout all of this been very scared and very timid. Every time you move the lightning, Pwobabwee with a big "oh no" face, and overly emotive, quite irritatingly so. If I had to. Not irritating because they're having emotions, irritating because it almost seems excessive and performative.
Oh.
But
What will be the faith?
so you go on in and you see the faith, similar to all the places you've been before. There's a large, slightly domed stone carving in the floor. This seems to depict so what it seems to depict, there seems to be a horned what's the family of creatures? Something what family of creatures do goats and sheep come under? Because they're not bovine. I don't know.
Bovidae.
Yeah.
Bovidae.
We'll go with that. So there appears to be something like that, but it has a large, jagged, almost lightning bolt horn coming out of it, and that seems to curve round into what appears to be a very elderly looking man, long grey beard, wearing a very humble, like looking cloak. They clearly have no airs or graces. So that's the image, and it appears to be that the elderly man is nurturing or feeding this goat with a lightning bolt at its head, as one would do. As Raiko approaches the faith, obviously, you know, there's the faith. You know, it's very beautiful. It's very serene. It's a very the hymn that is being sung. It's I don't know if I've made this clear up until now, but the rooms of the faith, there is perpetually the sound of the hymn of the hymn of the faith being sung by the rocks, by the faith itself. Don't ask how a rock sings; it just does. And we must learn to accept that. And it's a very deep, rich, luxurious baritone sound. And as Raiko does their prayers and bows before it and kneels and begins to wait, a bolt of lightning comes from the ceiling, striking the faith. And in that flash, a cloaked elderly man appears, fairly translucent. You've met faiths before. You know they're basically ghosts. This old, very humble-looking man stands before you and goes, "Greetings. There's only one of you. Hello. For what purpose have you come for my service?"
Malcolm's gonna poke Raiko and push them forward a little bit.
Raiko, yeah. Hi. We're on a pilgrimage? Yep, no, I don't know I'm questioning. No, we are on a pilgrimage. We're here to seek out your help, your guidance, your assistance. We were kind of hoping, you know, you'd help us out by being a friend. To which the elderly man strokes their long, wizened beard and goes, "Yes, appropriate." Normally, I suppose people have more questions. Something. It's been a while.
Wow.
Been a while.
I guess if you want questions, is there any reason why there isn't really many people around here in the temple?
There's no infrastructure. Nothing to support the temple. Supported it. Lived here and worked here. No benefit to stay. Couldn't support themselves, and they left for greener pasture.
What was here?
It was farm. This is for Pwobabwee farm. Various other growing crops, all kinds of wonderful things. Over time, sure what happened, either the need for work disappeared or people willing to do the work dwindled. Either way, elected to more progressive, relevant fields of work and
But you met Pwobabwee.
oh yes. Pwobabwee just does a little wave. Like, hello. I've been living in your house. I hope that's okay. Oh my god, I can't do a conversation between the old man and Pwobabwee.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can maybe translate here. So this child, I think. Not really sure how old
has
they
been
are.
living here for 30 years. I don't know
At-
much about Deguado to know if that's adulthood.
At the very least, they are mentally a child. They have been living here, and so we thought it would be appropriate to maybe shepherd this wandering child into your care so that you may be able to guide them in safety. Yes, that's what. Yes, yeah. Okay, good. Bye.
The old man. He likes to stroke his beard, and also I like the visual image of an old man in a large cloak stroking a very long beard, and does that and nods. It's nice to meet the one carefully cared for place my residing place. I would wish to accompany you on your journey. Usually, I do not lend my to a summoner. I send my companion. But perhaps it is time to beg my dog to stop making noises.
Perhaps it's time to beg my dog to not make noise.
This is why I'm not sending my companion. He's a noisy little bitch.
So noisy.
But perhaps it is time that I leave behind this tomb. It should be treated as such. With that, forming next to this old man, a tiny little goat. Like, you think when you Google, well, when you go onto YouTube and type in tiny goat, essentially that, like the tiniest little, most adorable fucking goat in the world, in spectral form, kind of like just gallops around next to it and hops up into the old man, and he gives it a little stroke, and he goes, "I shall accompany you as well. But whom shall be the vessel?"
Sorry, I'm in kind of like a monogamous thing right now. I don't think it would work out.
Rito's going to very specifically step back.
Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with his old man and his goat.
I kind of want
Oh,
to
hey,
try
looks
to...
like it's Ryko. Oh, weird.
I kind of want the old man to just go with Pwobabwee, if Pwobabwee's gonna just be traveling with us.
Like, do you want Pwobabwee to just travel along with you?
Is this a democracy? Because if it is, no.
I don't know, I'm not sure if they're gonna be like a permanent thing or not, but if they're not, then... Oh, I got a better idea. If not them, then Val.
Let Val finally have one.
Let Val have the baby goat.
Val the summoner who has not yet summoned anything.
No.
Give Val the cutest animal. The cutest
Give-
summon.
Give Val the cutest animal that symbolically is stubborn.
Oh my god, it fits.
Yeah, can mean
Stubborn and volatile.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Well, Val will be given this one. If everyone's okay with that. So
Yeah.
the symbol that Val will get. Yeah, you know what? Val's spear will now have a lightning bolt tip to it. And yeah, I think that's it. So just Val's like big spear that she always has, now it's gonna have like a jagged lightning bolt edge to it. And it looks pretty cool. It's because it's a nice visual. Val will she'll go and perform the summoning, and essentially, what this summoning is it's slightly different than what it says in the PDF, because the usual lightning summon in Final Fantasy is Ramuh, which is just like an old dude. But the lightning summon in Final Fantasy X is Ixion, the lightning goat. So, like, hey, what if we did both? We had like the goat and Ramuh, like the shepherd. And so it's like you get both of them who come up and they work together. So Val now.
So what you're saying is you get the shepherd who carries the crook,
Mm-hmm.
and you get the goat who is a to put it lightly, a food animal.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Crookshanks.
All right, you know what? I think that's a very good way to wrap up today's session. Does anyone have any final moment they'd like to incorporate into all of this?
Nope.
All we have
I
to do is. Sorry.
I want to point out, I'm adding this to my inventory. I now have another destruction sphere.
Yeah, you never found out what to do with this one. So yeah, you can just keep that, I guess.
I was just gonna have Lilith say, no, all we need to do is find summons, find faiths for both Hans and Reno if Reno wants it. And we'd all be set.
All right. So with that, I assume you leave the temple. It's very fine. We'll figure out what is the fate of Pwobabwee next time, I think. Because I don't know what we're doing with this character.
At this point, I think that he's going to become this, like, either great heroic being or nefarious villain. Because we put a spotlight on him.
See how you treat them. We'll see what happens. Alright. So, with that, we can wrap up nicely there today. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. Part of all of us. I am the Bardic Knock. You can find me on the internet, Twitter, Twitch page, or on YouTube, always the Bardic Knock. I do stuff. Stuff happens and I do it. That is my sales pitch. ATV, who are you?
Hi, I'm a tired bye. I was playing as Liv today, and ended up just being very confused by puzzles. You can find me every second Thursday over on the Undead Case channel for Curse of Strahd Barovian Days, where I play as Zatari the ASMR Bard. I usually try to hang out in other friends' streams, chats, but it kind of just depends on whenever I got spoons or not. And yeah, I hope I wasn't annoying today. I don't know.
Natch, who are you?
I'm Natch. I was playing Malcolm. Also having a really hard time with stuff that's not visual today for some reason. I don't know. But regardless, Red Mage, Malcolm, yeah, I think I'm going to stop there before I start rambling.
Alrighty. And then finally, Rain. Rain, who be you?
Rain Hayes, and I have absolutely nothing else going on right now because I haven't made a new product in months. But I play Reno Blazandius, or Reno Blaze, who is an Onion Knight and causes problems on purpose.
Okay, wonderful. And yeah, that might be the most succinct outro we have ever done. I'm very happy with it. So,
None of us have anything going on.
so until next time, everybody, stay safe and happy adventures. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.